So now we're going to look at what happens when you take your standard parabola, y equals x squared, drawn in blue, and also able to be described using these numbers, using this equation. Y equals 1 x squared plus 0. This means exactly the same as this one here. So what I want you to do is I want you to start to be able to use this formula here. Y equals k, x plus a squared plus b. What we're focusing right now on is on this k, the scale factor, this fatness and skinniness. Okay, so we're going to look at what happens when we don't change anything from our first green one except to put a quarter in front. So we're not looking at y equals x squared, we're looking at y equals a quarter of x squared. Let's have a look and see what happens. What do you think will happen? Let's have a wee look. We'll draw the blue one because it's easy to compare. Okay, what happens is it becomes a lot fatter. So everything on this graph becomes fatter than on the standard parabola. So instead of being the point 1, 1, we now have, when x is 1, y is 1/4. Okay, so that's what happens when we put a fractional number, a number between 0 and 1, in front of our x squared, and that was using it as the k. Let's have a look and see what happens when instead of a fraction, we use a bigger number than 1. Here I'm going to use 6. Okay, what do you think will happen here? Let's have a look. Were you right? Did you guess that it would get skinnier? So instead of the point x is 1, y is 1, we have the point x is 1, y is 6. So when we use a scale factor larger than 1, our parabola becomes a lot taller and skinnier. And finally, we're going to combine everything. We're going to look at what happens when we put a number in front of our x squared. So for our k, we're using -3. Ooh, it's a negative number. So think about what that might mean. And then we're going to look at x plus 4 squared. Do you remember that that will shift the parabola sideways so its vertex sits on -4? And then it's plus 1. So it will shift it up 1. Okay, so I'm expecting a parabola to be sitting on -4 and +1, and I expect it to be skinny and upside down, and that's what the -3 did to it. That's what the scale factor of -3 did to this parabola.